Good afternoon, guys. I hope all is going well, and I do hope all of you have a very happy Easter tomorrow. And Brendan and I will be going to church tomorrow morning. And anyway, and yes, today I went in, got her some roses, and the place I usually go and get them, they were closed, but fortunately the grocery store had some, and some chocolates. So brought them back home. And anyway, I hope all is well. And we've been working outside again today. I just want to let you know that all my source, other people's sources, listen to Scott McKay. The Marshall Report is really good. I think her name is Diane Marshall, Brenda said. And it's quite like, she's a lot like Corey Diggs. She has really good sources. And and basically they're all saying the same thing, which is there were roughly 1,300 children found dead on that Evergreen ship. About 1,200 kids were found alive. They found weapons. They found weapons of mass destruction that was going to apparently be used to start a war in the Middle East. And I have no doubt they've been searching other ships as well. The military, especially the special forces, as my source says, Trump has control of 17 special force units, and they've been very busy, obviously. And so, don't think if anyone thinks that things aren't going on, they're going on. And there is no timeline. I have no timeline. I'm just using common sense that my guess is that sometime within the next few months, Trump and his people will bring this to an abrupt halt. And so, which is why the Democrats are desperate to keep the National Guard there in D.C. What they're not aware of, though, is that Trump has control of the National Guard as well, not them. And so, anyway, first of all, I just want to let you know that for those of you in the Worcester area, you need your car, truck, Mini Cooper worked on, go to Greasy's Garage. Pete and the gang can fix anything you got. And he always carries Bears products. And for those of you who would like to learn more about Bears products, and remember, you get 10% off for being from the channel, call David at 615-854-3057. He'll answer all your questions about the car products and the hair products. Also, for those of you who want a cool t-shirt, sweatshirt, mega blanket, go to libtardtees.com. Okay, now I know, getting back to what I was saying before, I know a lot of you think, oh, it's over. Trump isn't ever going to come back. He's left us. The military, anything but. Anything but. And what we're going to see happen is going to happen worldwide. Everywhere. This is huge. This is huge. One of the emails I got, it says here that he was telling me about Mike Lindell's, as you know, he bought one of his employees a car. His car broke down and he was having to walk 14 miles. And so, anyway, it reminded him of Roger Stone telling the story about when Trump was at some hotel for some kind of business meeting, and when done, needed to get to an airport to fly to another business meeting. Trump somehow couldn't get to the airport. I forgot if he lost the tickets or lost his car keys or lost his wallet, whatever. Trump asked someone at the hotel to give him a ride to the airport as soon as possible. Someone did. About a month later, the financial good Samaritan who gave a billionaire a ride to the airport found a letter in the mail from his bank. He opened it up. It contained the paperwork on his mortgage and the title deed to his house, marked paid in full. This was Trump's way of saying thank you. I am sure that Trump could have reasoned that this ride to the airport saved him from missing a multi-million-dollar deal, and paying off a mortgage was tax deductible. Whatever the reason, this is how Trump thanks people. And then this guy says, my mechanic has a customer who used to work for Trump at Trump Tower. He says that Trump was one of the kindest people he ever met. He would often, whenever about an employee's fortunes turned south, give generously to an employee. Contrast that with Hillary. I have heard reports that Clinton doesn't even tip. I've heard the same thing. Moving on to study declares AOC is one of the least effective members of Congress. Well, of course she's ineffective. They're all ineffective because they're just puppets. Show me one person in the Democrat Congress there, the rhinos, that actually know how to do anything for the American public. They don't do anything for us. In fact, she's not just ineffective. She's very effective, actually, for the puppet masters that she works for. She's just no good for us. Let's go to the Gateway Pundit. So teen girls who murdered Uber Eats driver in D.C. are reportedly getting a plea deal. My guess is their age has a lot to do with it. And also, when you look at a lot of these major cities, they're run by Democrats. The DAs have been put in by Soros. So not much is going to happen. And then China is asking the WHO to hire them to build an international system to maintain flyer data regarding vaccines for cross-border travel. What could possibly go wrong there? And then it begins. Cornell University will require COVID-19 vaccination for staff and students returning for fall semester. Okay, so let them. That's fine. It's a free country still. You can go there or not go there. Moving on to update. BLM terrorist convicted after attack on pro-Trump protesters in Richmond, Virginia. Good. And then here's a humorous take on Joe Biden's press conference performance. Will have you laughing out loud. You know something? I don't think any of this stuff, I haven't lost my sense of humor, okay? I've still got it. But there is nothing about Joe Biden that I find humorous. Or any of those people. I think they're sick, evil people. Even though he's being played by an actor, I don't care. Anyway, there are two reasons why Democrats claim ID requirement for mail-in voting is racist. Neither is admirable. Look, the bottom line is this. They're just, I mean, what an embarrassment. They're trying, and I'll tell you what, blacks are ticked off. 70% of the blacks, they want voter ID. Absolutely. And it says affordability is not an option because most, if not all, states provide free photo IDs for any resident who requires one. So what is the reason? Do they believe that blacks and other minorities aren't smart enough to figure out how to obtain an ID? The position that requiring an ID in order to cast an absentee ballot is too onerous or too complicated for blacks and other minorities to navigate itself is itself racist. Am I wrong? Then please explain why I'm wrong. By the way, all these airlines, they require photo ID. Anyway, the second and far more likely reason is that an ID requirement makes it more difficult to commit voter fraud. Each eligible voter receives one vote. Ineligible voters receive 0 votes. Exactly. Moving on to, let's see here. Barack Obama cheers Major League Baseball's decision to move All-Star Game out of Georgia, which will cost Atlanta tens of millions and ruin it. Now think about this one. Consider this. Atlanta is mostly black. So who are they hurting? They're hurting black people. Hello? And then Black Lives Matter rainbow statue was torn down in Budapest 24 hours after it was put on display. And then Christians held in China's secret brainwashing camp say sources. You know, the Chinese Communist Party there is just nuts. They're really nutty. And they're going to go down hard. Crime soaring in left-wing cities that defunded the police? No. What a shock. Kansas GOP lawmakers overturned Democrat governor's mask mandate. Good. After pulling All-Star game from Atlanta, Major League Baseball hit with threat to antitrust exemption. President Trump releases new statement on big media discounting 2020 election fraud. And yeah, he knows he's right. He knows, and he will have a lot more to say, I think, in a fairly short time, within 1 or 2, 3 months. Take your pick. London police shut down Catholic service on Good Friday by barging in and interrupting service. What is wrong with them? Those police, man, I tell you what, if they had any pride, they'd be ashamed of themselves. Good grief. How pathetic. Anyway, that is all for now. I want to thank all of you for your support. It is very much appreciated, whether it's by way of PayPal, Patreon, checks, or cash in the mail. Thank you. Everything's in the description box that you need to support the channel directly. God bless you all and have a good day. Bye-bye, guys.